What's going on with our outfit? Why are we all wearing black?
It's the season. It's
the season of darkness.
Yes.
The season of darkness has
The
come.
Halloween season.
We are the members of the club or the cult. I don't know what cult it would be. Girls, what cult it would be?
The cult of black, I
Cult
guess.
should share the cult should share like a common ideology. What is our ideology, ladies?
I'll take like jewelry cult, but ideology. We like to talk too much.
Talk.
Is it an ideology? I don't think so.
I don't think so,
But this is Queens with Accents, and we are your hosts today, Natasha,
Nadia,
and Yulia.
and today we are going to talk about the subject that fascinates everyone to this day, and I think it will fascinate people forever: cults, sects, not sects, sects. It was close.
That was close.
50-50.
You gotta spell it out.
C-E.
C-E.
No, S-E. No, what am I talking about? Oh my God. You know, I'm going in a very different direction right now. I'm going in a very different direction. Okay, I need to put my head together and just start like concentrate. Okay, because we're talking about serious business today, people. It's not a laughing matter. Okay?
I gotta put my serious face on? You didn't tell me that.
Oh, we have to put our serious face on.
So listen, there were many cults, and I looked at it, right? I looked and I tried to find like online different cults and to see when they were specifically in the time frame as far as like American cults.
We're all prepared today.
Right, I know, but it seems
I have my notes.
They're very evenly like spread out since like the 1950s. And they're like every 10 to 20 years, more or less, there's like a new one. And there might be more, right? It's just that the big ones that made it to the headlines, right? But there might be more that are smaller and they just didn't attract attention. But look, the People's Temple, 1955 to 1978. Manson Family, 1960s. Branch Davidians, 1959 to 1993. Heaven's Gate, 70s to 97. The Japanese one, which is not American actually. I don't know how this made it here.
It says it was bloody. It was deadly.
Shinrikyo.
Oh,
Shinrikyo. Oh my God!
Yes.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
It actually. Wow. I am very. This is interesting. So 1980s to 1995, and then Order of the Solar Temple, 84 to 97. Children of God, 1960s to present. That one is still active, supposedly. And then the NXIVM, 1998 to 2018.
Well,
those are most famous.
My cult starts from 17th century because
17th century.
Yes, because I'm going to talk about Russian
get very
cults.
prepared.
Yes. I have my full, notebook of notes. These. Yes, and these cults are so fascinating. I absolutely adore this topic. Yeah.
Oh my God. And I was so fascinated by this topic. I apologize. What? Sorry?
No. I'm just very anxious to hear about the cult in the 17th century. I'm like, what?
Yeah, we're gonna start from there. But from just my point of view, I was so fascinated at one point with the cult that I started, researching them in depth because I wanted to write a book about it, which I did. The book was called The Savior, and it's still one of my favorite books. For me,
I read it.
Yes. It's still, for me, it's the most like I love. That's my favorite book. And I wrote a second book. The last book also was about the cults, but it was completely different. It was on a light note, but that one was I was digged into psychology of the leader of the cults, how it starts, how the members are collected, how are they brainwashed, what exactly comes into the work, into the game to make them so dedicated, to the point of giving away their lives for that particular one person. So because it's usually one person, even in funny cults like losing weight, that there was lost weight cult, but we'll talk about it later. Let's start with the first one of the first ones.
Oh, I think that those cults from the 17th and 18th century should be, taken to the list, because these are so interesting that I want to, it's for sweet.
She wants to save it. She wants to save it for dessert.
Cherry on top. And so let's start with the funny one. And I don't know if you heard about this one. It started as a club for losing weight for people, right? And the person who started this club, she decided if you're lean and skinny, it's close to God. If you're gaining weight, you're going on the dark side, and you're losing your connection to God, and you are sinning.
So look, instead of body or fat shaming, they're like spiritually shaming you.
Yeah, so it's connected, your weight is connected to God. And it became huge. Thousands of churches accepted this practice, and they started, restricting people diets, obviously telling them to do. That's how it started with this woman. It leaned toward the control. She started to control people in all other aspects of life. Their families, their finances, obviously, because they always stick their noses in the finance and they start controlling, right? People's money and however it goes. In every cult, it's all about control. It's all about money. It's all about sex. That's how it is. In this particular one, it wasn't about sex because she was a woman and she had husband, so she wasn't interested in that. But she was interested in, like, for example, you should punish your kids to the point.
Yeah, but wait a second. You're discriminating a little bit. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you're not interested in sex.
Well, but
just because you have a husband doesn't mean
historically the sexual cult was led by men.
No. That's your understanding.
Well,
of the
name me
situation.
one
She might
cult.
or might not have.
Name me one cult that was led by a woman. Actually, not a lot of them. Was also had like sexual.
What I'm saying is
underlining.
that you don't know that it was not sexual. That we only know what's from the outside.
Maybe from what we know, it wasn't sexual. It was about controlling, and she told people, like, for example, how to raise their kids, to the point when one of the family killed their 8-year-old child. Then the punishment was cruel, completely. I watched the documentary about it as well. And they took all their money and everything, until the point when they died in 2021 in a plane crash. But they had their own plane. That's how much money they had. They had their own plane and everything. So it's, on one hand, you think it's a funny cult because, like, it's ridiculous, right? The idea of this sect is losing weight. But when you look deeper into it, their kids were completely destroyed who were raised in that cult because they were punished severely. Money was taken from people. And how did they get even to that point? That was always the most fascinating for me. How do people trust so much to that one person to give all their lives to them? Like in Jonestown, for example, we'll go to that one.
That's right. But I think it's all about belonging. All of us, we're herd animals. People are herd animals. Our base instincts, our nature is to be around other people and to belong. And if we find something that we think we belong to, and the cults usually make you feel important, right? They're like, oh yes, you're like the member and you're the backbone.
Love bombing, yes.
And we need you, and whatever, and they make you feel so important, and they make you feel like you belong, and that's why they're able to control you, because you relinquish that control because you want to be so much a part of something that you're just like, yes, I'm like a living cell inside of this huge thing, so I'm gonna relinquish my control, and then you can control my life, essentially.
Do you remember this movie Midsommar?
Oh my God! I even told Nadia about it. It's like the movie you cannot forget ever.
Yes. This is very good depiction of it's very good depiction of how to get in the cult.
Just the way it was shot.
Wanting to, yes, and the way it was shot, it was beautiful. I have my own story of a very funny cult. Natasha and Nadia, you will understand it. This is the cult of Kolobok.
Okay.
Really?
People did what there?
Actually, they were.
Explain people what Kolobok is.
Kolobok is a Russian fairy tale creature. It consists of a dough. The dough in a round shape, in the shape of Kolobok.
It's a donut hole, basically. It's a donut hole.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Without a hole, yes.
No,
it's a donut hole. It's a like a round thing.
Yeah, it's a round thing. So they told everyone that kolobok can heal everything. You should just take it and put on the on your hand if it hurts, on your heart if it hurts, on your head if it hurts, and this will heal it.
Well, listen, but wait, but this is better. This is better than sticking a cucumber that is growing from the actual, not detached from the plant into your butt for hemorrhoid treatment. Have you heard of that one?
Yes, I heard about it.
I like the kolobok better.
Yes, and if you will print the photo of kolobok, or if you are going to, like make a little drawing of kolobok, and you will put it on something that was poisoned, on something that was already rotten, or even drugs, that's it. No effect on you. It will clean everything.
Where did they get the kolobok?
I don't know.
You can draw
is it imaginable kolobok? You put imaginable kolobok on it, or you bake it at home?
You can actually take the dough and make it at home. Why not?
With like a special, I don't know, like bacteria from other koloboks around the world?
I don't know.
Oh
I think
God,
when
this
it's
is
round,
weird.
it's healing.
Okay. And then, but I get that part. I understand that part. But what did they offer? Like, just like, oh, you can live forever because now you have the power of the kolobok, or what?
Yeah, I think that you can do whatever you want, because we will heal you with the power of kolobok.
Okay, that's great. Where's the cult part? Like, because cults normally, again, like Natasha said, right? They take your money, they control your life.
Not every time. It is a matter of a group of people who believe in something, and that they want you to believe in this too. So it's not like it's a very, very light, I guess, cult. I didn't research it like to the point of when it started and when it ended. I know it is based on loosely, I guess, on some kind of Slavic paganism, or maybe something like this. Not gonna lie, because I don't really know. But the fact is, I hope it is one of the least lethal cults that I've been researching.
Right. So I guess there is a difference between cults and between sects.
Yes,
sects.
It is.
So so it was a cult, but it wasn't a sect. A sect, it's not just following something and worshiping something. A sect is actually a group of people that separates itself from others, right? And cult doesn't separate itself from others, like maybe definitions, right? And they basically start their sect. It's a religious thing, and a cult is not necessarily religions, right? You can for worship anything, basically. That's
or anyone.
Or anyone.
Or anything.
Yeah. Or anything. But you don't necessarily have to like give up your life for this. You just have to strongly believe in it, and just I love your kolobok.
I think you have to strongly believe in this and try to make everyone else actually believe in this too, or at least somehow participate in their rituals or in their life.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell you something funny. So not exactly related to what we're talking about, but I got reminded of it right now. So I went to Valery Mеладзе concert, right? So for those of you who don't know, Valery Mеладзе is 60 years old. He's a singer from, I think he was a singer when Soviet Union was a thing, right? Still, like he started quite young. And then, so basically, he sings in Russian. He sings in Georgian too, but like the majority of his songs are in Russian. And a lot of Russian-speaking population adores him. And now he's touring United States for like the second or third time, whatever. And there were many funny memes on the internet, how the US-based security guys who are like hired to protect him during the concerts. They literally do not understand, because there's a 60-year-old guy and he's not particularly like buff or fit or like, supermodel looking. He's just a regular 60-year-old guy. And yeah, he looks good, but not like, oh my God.
Not like, wow.
Right. And then there's like all of these women aged from like literally from like 20 until 60 or above. And all of these women just go crazy for him and they chant his name and everything. So during the concert, literally a whole bunch of people started chanting his name. And he goes, thank you very much, but don't do this because individual cults never led to anything good. So he was like, right, I am a singer, but I understand that I'm not like a person who wants to hold the power over you or anything like that.
Don't
right?
worship me.
Like,
In other words, don't worship me. Yeah, I've heard it from a few people, like from a lot of like celebrities who would say, somebody would say, "Oh my God, you changed my life. You did. I just worship you," and they're like, "Just don't do it, please. I'm not God. Don't do it," because that could screw up a person's life, basically, because they start, stalking or whatever. The people do crazy stuff. So it's basically it's connected to mentality or one way or another, because no matter how we in our time, like for example, worshipped king or loved king's novels, but we would not go to any extended ways to meet him, to give him our money or anything like that, right?
Sometimes people
mental.
And sometimes people just use the book or something like this to make a cult, because I have another cult. It was started like in 70s. It called Sect of Fire, and the leader of this was
neighbors.
The leader of this was Gleb Возnyuk from Ural. He was a prisoner, he was a criminal, and he actually read the book by Alexei Tolstoy, Peter the First. And there he had he gained the knowledge, some rituals made by staroobryadцы, people who were not just Orthodox people, but they believed like in old rituals
ways of living.
So he decided to make a cult, only to try to convince some groups of people to unalive themselves by fire. And he actually succeeded in this, because this ritual he found in this book. He found two groups. One was 24 people. The second was 8 people. He put them in a wooden house, lit the fire, and they were gone. And of course, they actually, before that, they gave all the money and everything that they had to him. So he gained some knowledge from the book, and he decided this was a really good time for, his enrichment after this.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But also, it takes a certain kind of person, right? It takes a charismatic person. Not
narcissist, most likely narcissist.
Right, but you still have to give them a little props, as far as like, not everyone can just go and say, follow me, and people will follow them. So they have some certain traits to attract those people, and
Absolutely.
to make them follow the guy.
Yeah. And they know how to find people, because the people have to be easily manipulating, right? You have to, you can. He wouldn't manipulate you or you, right? That would never happen.
You never know. That's the thing.
I just have a feeling that would not happen. Okay. Like I have a cult of cats.
Yes, we need one. We need one.
I'm sure there's like 25 of cults of cats if you will try to find them. Because people love those animals, and they have power and charisma to do that.
They do have power and charisma.
They do have power and charisma, but I think that they have a very good sense of psychology, because some of the cults that I've researched was so insane, and people from those cults, demanded such an insane things from their followers that only absolutely broken people could be a part of this. Because when someone is telling you that he's a god, that he is something like a spiritual being that will change your world, and he decides that you have to die for this, I don't think that just a normal ordinary person, even after seeing this bright charisma, would go and do something to himself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also weak people. Strong people would withstand, and weak people, if your mind is weak and you're broken, you're not going to be broken if you're strongly minded, right? It has to be. Well, people are different, and these people are like that. And if you take the most famous cults, right? But I want to hear, and I'm pretty sure Nadia wants to hear more about from Julia, because she knows all these Russian Slavic cults that I never heard about. But we'll take, for example, the most famous cult, right? All around the world, the Jones like the fellowship, right? Jonestown. It started in 1955. It was like a political movement for social programs, for stopping the war and all of that, that was very popular at that time. And a lot of people joined that church because they wanted those social programs, because they wanted that socialism. They wanted, programs for poor. They wanted free healthcare, and obviously they wanted to stop the war, which like they went, with their posters and everything, like it's happening a lot. And how they recruited people, that's fascinating. They would go to that person's house. So one person would talk to that guy or girl that tried to get in. Another person would go through his bathroom, through his bedroom during this time and look for everything they have, for pictures, documents, their medication, they write their prescription, doctor, like who is their doctor, what prescription they take. They go through their garbage to dig out that more stuff. So the second time they would meet with that person, they would already know everything, and they would start to talk to him like from some magical, point of view, like, you are this kind of person, you're probably taking this medication, go to this doctor because you feel this and that, and the people will be, oh yeah, that's me, they know everything about me. But would it be enough to actually join that cult, give away your money, and then go to Africa, to different town, organized at Jonestown, at the end, unalive themselves and their children with poison, right? 900 people, 900 people, girls, 900. Right. And
the thing is that they, again, the way that it works, it's all psychology, right? And again, they make you believe in something, and they make you feel like you belong to this group of people.
Yeah.
And
that's why they started with politics.
And also a lot of people, not a lot, all of us actually are looking for something better. We want to live better. We want to have a better life and or better afterlife, right? If you believe in afterlife, you're like, oh, but I want to be united with God or whoever. I want to be part of the extraterrestrials or what, depending on what you're believing. Because some of those cults were connecting aliens.
UFO, yes, right? That's Heaven's Gate,
religion,
yeah,
right? And they were mixing it up together. And so essentially, if you believe hard enough that if you're not alive anymore and you do it a certain way that they tell you, and you live a certain life before you are not there anymore, and you will be united with,
the higher something.
So that's that belief, right? That, oh, I'm gonna have a better afterlife, I'm gonna be happy in my afterlife because this life is too hard, right? And majority of the time, that's what it is. It's a little bit of an escape from responsibilities. Also, because if somebody else is controlling your life, if somebody else is controlling your finances, the way that you're supposed to raise kids, the way that you're supposed to behave, right? That takes off the responsibility from us. And a lot of the times, this is what happens, I think, is we're so tired of making decisions. Making life decisions is hard. Living life is hard. The other day I was at work. And I was like, I want to cancel subscription to adulthood, please, because it's not all that.
Yeah.
This is making me stressed, right? And I think this is what a lot of those people, I don't think they're necessarily weak per se, but they just find a way in that cult of relieving themselves of that pressure of the responsibilities, of the problems, and they're like, there's the light, and at the end of the tunnel, and I'm going to follow that light.
No, that is a sign of weakness when you don't want to take that responsibility and want to give it to an adult. No matter what you feel and how you feel any other day, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna just cancel your adulthood. You're still gonna, you're gonna keep going.
Believe me, sometimes I want to.
I trust me.
Yeah, but canceling your adulthood is the one thing, but canceling your life is completely different. Like, we had this white brotherhood that was led, by the way, by a woman. It was
I think I've heard of that one.
I think that you might have even seen like posts with her face on it. She was
like wearing white clothing.
Yes,
like white clothing.
Yes. Maria Zwigun. It was in the 90s, and she told everyone that she is a god, that she's a goddess, she is the Jesus. And her husband, he was John the Baptist. And, they wear everything white. They believed in reincarnations, and they were absolutely sure that 24th of November 1993 is going to be the end of the world. And they made everyone who were in this cult believe in this too. She wanted to make 666 people unalive themselves on the main square in Kiev. So it is like, it is very odd. No, they didn't.
Okay.
Everything went okay, so nothing happened. But the point here is that it's not just taking responsibility. It's not like making you love someone or give up everything you have, but it is the main event is the end of it, the end of your life.
Yeah, a lot of those cults ended up unaliving yourself or unaliving somebody else, right? It was like the whole point was that, because standpoint of the strategic standpoint of like how they built it, right? Because it has to culminate with something, because they're promising those people, oh, you're going to unite with God, or I am God and I'm going to save you, or whatever, the heck that is that they're making you believe. But they have to culminate with something. And because they cannot deliver, right? They cannot show you God or spirit or whatever.
Of course.
Because they cannot perform miracles, like as in the sense of like miracles that we think, right, that they're supposed to be performing. So it has to culminate with something, and that's the end of it, because they know if the person is not alive anymore, they can't sue them, they can't say anything, and and that's what it is.
I want to do you remember last time when we were talking, we like touched the subject of the Sergei Grabovoi, the person who were active during the era of Kashpirovsky, Chumak, such a people. And he actually, I didn't know this. I thought that he was just one man standing, but I found out that he had actually a cult of Sergei Grabovoi. The main thing that he was promising, it was not something that he was the Messiah. I mean, no, he said that he was a Messiah, but not like he will do something like take you to heaven, but he will resurrect people that you loved that died. And he was taking a lot of money for this, and every time when he couldn't resurrect a person, he told everyone that this person just didn't want to be alive anymore. He just doesn't want to see his family and everything. But he had little notes that said that some of the people he actually resurrected, and these notes were signed by relatives of this person's, but this person just decided to move from this particular town to another. And
that's convenient.
It is convenient. I think that his fall was in the year 2004 when there was this terrorist in Beslan. He told everyone that he will give all the kids to their moms, and of course it didn't happen. And in 2005 he told everyone that he's going to be a president of Russian Federation. He will make departure to the other life unlawful. He will just he will ban death like at all. This is nice. Funny. And actually went to prison. They gave him 8 years, but he served only 4. He now lives in Serbia, and he started another cult. And this cult,
because why not?
Of course.
If I can do it once, I can do it twice.
And this cult actually tries to hack the universe. I don't know, whatever it means. Yes. So this person, he was actually gaining money. These persons, for me, are one of the very worst, because they give you hope, and a lot of people
prying. They're prying on your pain.
Yeah, and a lot of people who actually lost someone they loved so much because of the illness, because of the accidents, because of a lot of things. They really want to have this last connection, and they can give you everything for this.
Of course, because as you're going through your stages of grief, right? First is denial, then it's bargaining, right? So as you're going through these first stages, if that person gets you right then and there, when you're in denial, that person cannot be, dead. It cannot happen to me. This is where, you will give away all your money. You will give away everything, whatever they want, just to get that person back.
He didn't kill anyone. I mean, he didn't try to make someone give him everything, like their apartments, all of their money, but it was really close to this evil.
But he did charge money. He did charge money for something that he couldn't do.
Yeah, and
he made a living.
Yeah, but he's just. I'm not gonna say this word, but he's a scum.
Yeah, scumbag. But it's a good word. It's not a bad word. But I can my feel like nowadays it would be a new wave of cults or sects right now,
Yeah,
because it's such unstable times,
But there are
so many
already.
changes.
There
Yeah,
are
and
already. Don't you see? Don't you see? Like, okay, like the same thing as social media platforms.
they're not officially sects or cults, but
Social media platforms, right? What are those? Like, people follow people that they don't even know, and they think
yeah.
they know something about their life, and whatever they show is true, but majority of the time it's not true, number one.
they
And
give
then
money.
they pay money. Yeah, they throw money away. They're like, "Oh, I want to give you a gift," and they send
Yeah.
you stars or whatever Facebook does or whatever it does. But they give you money that way, right? For nothing, really, just for being whoever. And that already happens. Remember that a singer from Japan, which is not even it's not a person. It's
No.
a cartoon, or it's an AI made cartoon or whatever. So there's
No.
so it's not a real person. It's a made up character. I don't know what to call it. And there's a following. There's a huge following. They all love her or whoever the cartoon. They love the cartoon, and they follow the cartoon, and they buy merchandise, and they all of that. The cartoon sells CDs and records, everything. So,
Yeah.
but it's a cartoon. It's not a real person.
That's insane. But also, like with these cults and cult members and sects, um, if, for example, if people follow some celebrity on social media or cartoon or anything, if something falls off and people don't, feel that particular person doesn't do what he was doing and he changed his belief, people fall out of the wheel. They cancel that person, right? And they follow someone else. Which is with cult members, with sects, it doesn't matter what happens to that person and how he changes his belief and what he makes them to do, like some new things. They still keep going. They give him excuses. They find, it's explainable. Everything is explainable, like with that Johnstown when he started losing completely his marble. And it's like the end of lives. I don't think they think about it at the beginning, but when they see that things falling apart, like it doesn't go their way anymore, that's where it comes in place. Let me just, if you're not with me, you're not going to be with anyone. And then when it comes to play, and they, and unfortunately hundreds of people,
it feels like their personalities just dissolve. They give themselves
completely.
to
Yes, they lost. That's the main thing. When they started, the door opens a little bit, and all the way up, and they started completely losing their identity. That's why the sects, they separate people from their family. That's one of the first things they do, and that's the difference between cults and sects. They separate the member of their following from their loved ones, from their friends, from their families.
It's like
an abusive relationship.
Yeah,
it's an abusive relationship. The same thing. If you're in a relationship with an abusive partner, that's exactly what they do. They separate you from the ones you love. They make you feel like the only person that loves them is that person who's abusing them, right? And also they try to control every little step of their life and tell them what to do, so that person doesn't even have their own thoughts.
Yes, and if you have some thoughts, they're most likely wrong thoughts, and they would easily prove it to you. And when the person already gaslighted to the point where he doesn't understand what universe he's existing, it's so easy to probably get some extra step to take extra steps and bring them to where they end their lives. Like they even had, like at this Johnstown, they had like training for the end. So the last steps, they just took regular juice and gave it to their kids without any anything happening to them before they actually introduced the real poison. So people just completely lose their identity to their sex. And there's a lot of people like this who we see abusive relationship in. Nadia, you're exactly correct. It's one person.
Look at P. Diddy. Look at what happened to him.
Well,
right?
those
So
are
he
also
was
blackmail and stuff like that. There's a lot of like there.
well,
Yeah.
okay, blackmail too, but then how many years was this going on for, right? And to how many people he's done what he's done, right? And everybody kept quiet.
Yeah, but was
Everybody
there
was just
cult
like,
or was it business with him though? Or was it a sect? I
hey,
think
you
it's
know,
more business.
it could be different things. It could be multiple things going on there. But at
But the
the same
process is,
token,
yeah.
how does he have so much power? That's what the whole thing is that, you know, in cults as well, one person gains so much power, whichever way, by blackmail, by convincing you, by, you know, by making you love them, by doing whatever it is that they do. But they just gain so much power that in the end they themselves feel like they're invincible, and that they're like,
That's he definitely felt that.
you
Yeah.
know, nobody's above them and nobody can touch them and nobody can punish them for whatever their, you know, wrongdoings they're doing, and they just feel like, I'm a god.
Yeah.
Let's lighten up a little bit, and then we'll talk about something more, you know, sinister. I have this
Yeah.
really interesting and funny, I guess, cult. The cult is it's the movement of citizens of USSR. And I can tell you this cult started not in the USSR, it started in 2010. One person, he was the dentist from Dushanbe. His name is Sergei Taraskin. He told everyone that USSR is still alive. It's still actually, you know, it's still a country. It's still legal. And Russian Federation is not. So he told everyone that they have to get rid of Russian passports and buy the documents of USSR from him.
From him. So he's
yes,
the
of
one
course.
who's issuing the okay.
Yes, of course. and everyone who actually doesn't have USSR passport and documents, they're not even alive. They can't be considered actual humans, like robots or something. But people with the documents of USSR are the real persons. They're real citizens, and they don't have to be abided by the law of Russian Federation. They don't have to pay for anything. They don't have to, you know, pay their
taxes?
credits, pay taxes, pay their credits, pay for their houses, nothing. And they don't have to, you know, have the license plates on the cars. And that's why when they, you know, speed or do something wrong and they're stopped by GIBDD, they don't have any power over them. And I can actually tell you that we have this, I think she's a follower of this sect, because she's telling that she's the daughter of God. She's a live person, and they're not, and they don't have any rights, and they don't have any contract with her.
But wait,
so that's why
how did she go from being a citizen of USSR to being a daughter of God?
I think that she developed. I think that she developed something.
I need to listen to this lady, because I want to be a daughter of God. That's very convenient.
You can become a live person when she will write your name in this book with blood. I don't know with whose blood, hers or yours. Yeah, and that's why you just have you gain all the rights of the real rights after this process.
Oh,
that's insane.
Okay.
Imagine surprise of GIBDD.
The law enforcement.
You see, police. Yes, you see,
you don't exist.
Problem.
And you're a daughter of God. I want.
Yeah,
that.
and you're a daughter of God.
I want that.
Your father would be like, "Ooh, your dad."
No.
If she's a daughter of God, who am I?
Right.
Obviously.
That'd be pretty cool.
They would be like, your mom and your dad would be like, Сим откройся, like open the door, Сим. Like,
И 540 тонн золота.
Yes, a lot of gold. Essentially, yeah. But essentially, why do people believe? Because it's something good to believe in, right? It's something good to look forward to.
And I can do whatever I want. I don't have to. I'm not limited to anything.
Taxes, right? Right.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're getting short on time, and like let's get to those like cherries. Time to get to cherries.
The 17th
okay,
century
let's get to
cherry.
Whoever has cherries, if you Nadia have cherries, get them ready. It sounds very sexual too.
I want to talk about three sects, three cults. One is from the 21st century, and it's quite a dark one. This is the secta Boga Kuzi. This is.
It seems like a cute sect.
Is that like a domovoy, the
No,
house?
no, it's not that. It's not that cute. Unfortunately, this was one of the most, I think, unhinged cults that we had in our modern history. It was early 2000s, I guess, and the leader was Andrei Popov.
So it's very recent.
Yes, he told everyone that he actually went to a church seminary, that he finished it, and he actually acted like a priest in the churches until everything, everyone knew that he didn't have any knowledge or any right to do so. And the first, it was like a group of people of 20. Then they started to gain audience. Of course, he called himself God Kuzya. And he told everyone that he has a lot of reincarnations inside of him, like Julius, Lermontov, Shiva, and of course, Jesus Christ. And he had this particular capability of putting people into a trance. If you will Google him, you will find out that he actually looked like not very intelligent, I would say.
Just stupid, and you average stupid and ugly looking men.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that. Well, okay.
That was harsh.
That was harsh. So
maybe not harsh enough.
Most of his audience were women, and those women were not, those old ladies or something. They were women who had husbands. They divorced their husbands, and they became members of his harem. But he actually said that he only had 4 official wives.
But what did he promise them for being the members of his harem?
He promised them heaven, of course, because he was God. Because, of course,
if they had sex with him, that's what happens. If they had sex with him, they will go to heaven.
That is the only way to get to heaven.
This is the only thing that they actually
get into heaven.
Yeah, when they actually.
Way.
When police actually entered his apartment, they found something like 250 million rubles. And $150,000 and a lot of exotic animals in his possession.
Where did he get that from? From his followers? His followers were.
I think that from his of course, it's from his followers. And he had this ritual called pike. It just was a paid beating. You were paying him
for somebody.
You paid him for him to beat you.
Oh, that's like masochists. They pay to people to beat them down.
Your sins are forgiven for that, or what?
Yes, you are enlightened after this. Your sins are forgiven, and you are, free and clean, and you can enter heaven. So,
my God, girls, let's create this one. And we'll beat people down for money. I'll do that.
Oh, Natalia, I did not know you had that in you. Look at that.
She does. She does.
New things are coming out.
It seems like it's easy money.
Okay, I did not know. You know what? You need to.
I didn't know either. I just got this. I need to think about it.
Came out of you.
We have a dominatrix here. Yeah.
I know. You need to go to Japan. Japan has like very high-paying positions for women who are like beating men with like.
That's not. I don't want to be dominatrix. I want to be called. That's
Okay, cult of dominatrix, Natasha. That's really good. One of the oldest cults here in Russia is the whips. It is ecstatic Christians. They call themselves people of God, Christ faith. They practice self-flagellation. They whip themselves. Most of the time, it was based on esoteric Slavic paganism, I guess. So it was a lot of things. And one of the first leaders, he was a peasant. He told everyone that he was God. First criminal cases after them started from 1716. So everyone knew that they were not a good idea. Everyone knew that they were not, a really good people to interact with.
But what was bad about it? I don't understand. Why did
I will tell you.
Law would go after them? If they
First
just
of
were
all,
whipping themselves, like it's not
no,
bad.
they were not just whipping themselves. Of course, they were telling everyone that faith, that Christianity was heretics. Heretics. Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, that was a very religious times, and they told people that there is no God. It's
no, that there was God, but the God from the churches and everyone from the churches, they were heretics, and they were the only great and actual faith. And they gathered a lot of people, like from, it was dangerous for the government, it was dangerous for people, it was dangerous, of course, for a church.
Okay, so it was dangerous in terms of of controlling the masses, but it wasn't dangerous in terms of they were doing something to their cult members, right? Like physically
no, they actually were,
or anything like this.
No, they actually were. They had to, be in extreme poverty. They had to be in extreme askeza. They believed that human body is Satan, and human spirit is God. That's why you have to actually, murder your body to become a new God.
But isn't that something that still exists? And a lot of people who follow
it's
Buddhism,
kind of
they kind of like veer off a little bit, and they always quote unquote fight with their body. So all of our desires, even like for hunger or thirst, not even talking about like sexual desires or whatever, even just hunger or thirst, they see it as a weakness, and they see it as the devil trying to overtake our spirit, basically. And if we give in, then we're weak. And if we can like conquer that, then we're higher beings.
They had leaders, they had following, and they had strict rules.
Organized religion has also rules and everything you're supposed to do and not to do, and it's a lot of rules. Kabbalah, you're not supposed to do something on Saturday, you're not supposed to be in every religion. There are rules. So
in
where
general,
is this line?
Those rules are not harmful to you. In general, those rules are actually good for you. Like don't kill, don't sleep with your friend's wife, right? Don't steal, don't overeat. Those things are actually good rules for us. They're not hurting us in a sense, right? And again, depends on how you interpret it. And I guess those cults, they misinterpret certain things to the point where they actually hurt people. Like,
and then religion,
starting from like self beatings and ending with unaliving yourself.
Some people just believe that sects or cults or religions, it's just the same, it's just semantics.
It depends where you're taking it to. Where are you taking it to? Because in all religions across the world, and the major religions especially, they're telling us you need to live your best life, you need to live a good life, you need to lead like a quote unquote like a righteous life, right? And then live it out. They don't tell you unalive yourself in the middle of it to meet your God faster.
When you enter in cult or sect, whatever you call it, they want to make you believe that other cults, other beliefs, other religions are wrong. And it's like canceling them out. It's like if you are believing in something else than ours, then you are heretic, and that you don't belong here. A cult that I want to talk about, it is from 18th century, and it's called skapci, eunuchs.
Yeah, you told me about this. I want to know.
Yeah, this one actually harmed people, and harmed people really bad. They, as you can guess from the name of it, they made themselves eunuchs. They also called themselves.
They made themselves what?
Eunuchs.
Eunuchs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. But it was really, really, really rich cult.
In terms of money?
A lot of merchants. In terms of money, because a lot of merchants were in this cult. They actually started from 18th century. The leader of this, the beginner of the sect, was Kondratий Селиванов. He was a runaway serfdom.
A slave,
like a slave,
like a runaway Slavic slave. Yeah.
Skapci, they actually thought that to save yourself, to save your soul, you have to fight your body. You have to fight your desires. You have to fight everything that is human inside you, except for money, of course. A lot of people, a lot of emperors, they fought this cult, And they believe that when it's going to be 144,000 of them, it's going to be the end of the world. They had to castrate themselves, totally castrate themselves. It was nothing, like a meeting halfway. The first they had kind of seals. First seal is to cut the balls, then is to cut the shaft. I don't know. It was called a royal seal. There was two other types of seals. They could cut their nipples, and they could carve like a triangle on their side. No one knows
why. That is
a
lot of self-mutilation.
Yes, it is. It is a
self-mutilation.
That's why
only men in that cult, or just what?
No,
what did
there were
do?
women too. There were women too, and actually, they. You can imagine that there were not a lot of babies in this cult because, hello, nothing to mate them with. And some of the members actually castrated themselves after they get married, have one or two kids, and then they will do this. But the most horrible thing out of this was not this. To gain another members, they, took some of the young relatives. They didn't know anything about this cult, and they actually castrated them. They, yes, they were. This is horrible. They actually bought, kids from poor families of peasants, and castrated them to gain more followers. They were really, really rich, and that's why they could tell you that you will have a lot of money.
Well, but that kind of makes sense. Think about it. Instead of spending your time and energy on like getting women, what they did, they spent their time and energy making money, business.
There's actually even saying that they were abducting people. They were abducting like really rich merchandisers, and they kind of, make them drunk. And when they woke up, well, I'm sorry, now you don't have anything to, to give to a woman. Now you're one of us. And
they got no bits.
And about women were the most unfortunate ones, because of course they were in the sect and they were hugely mutilated. They cut off their breasts and they cut off, everything down there too. It was just a mutilation because they still could have kids after this. It's not like for men it was not having kids at all, but for women it was just a pure mutilation. That was just to break the spirit of a woman. It was a story that one of the people who were very, very, very close to Alexander I, he was just an advisor, but very close. He was one of the members of the sect, Skopci, and he told Alexander that the whole country should become one. Everyone in the country should be castrated.
But it made sense that the end of the world would come after 144,000, because I don't know what the population of the world was at the time, but it was a lot less than now, right? So imagine if like that many men were not making any more babies, and they were castrating children too, right? So then how are you going to make any more kids? But think about it, right? When we're talking about aliens, and a lot of those things are like intertwined, right? The religion and aliens and whatever, all of that cults together. Gray aliens are sexless.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe those ideas were existent already back then in the 18th century, where people were like, listen, if we don't have women or men, we just have like one thing, whatever you want to call it, right? One gender, which is not even a gender anymore, right? If we just have one thing, we are able to focus more, and we're able to like achieve more, and we're able to meet certain goals faster as a
maybe
people.
Maybe. But I can tell you another thing. This is one of the longest living cults that I found.
Can you imagine? Okay, so I can like the level of dedication. Can you imagine the level of dedication? Because it's one thing to go into a cult, give them your money, live by their rules, etc., etc. And it's a whole totally another thing for a man specifically, right? Not even talking about women, for a man to completely give up his manhood
willingly.
Right? willingly. Exactly. Can you imagine
Yeah.
the level of commitment? Like how much brainwashing.
And this is the first sect that I don't understand at all.
Absolutely insane. It's
on that horrifying note.
Yeah. Horrifying. At least they had some goal, not just because they wanted to get skinny. Because that one is
I prefer
killing your children for being skinny. Just so
I
you
prefer
can say
the cult of Kolobok.
Kolobok,
I know, right? Exactly.
The cult
Yes,
of
I think
Kolobok.
that sounds really good. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Kolobok. Let's just put Kolobok everywhere it hurts, and then it doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, we can put it as our logos today's podcast.
No, nobody has to die. Nobody has to mutilate themselves. Nobody has to do anything like that. I love that. Yes.
And you have to bake something. You actually can produce something
It's okay.
Nice and sweet. And oh my God, I'll join that club easily. Unless if they don't ask me for money, because I'm out. I'm out. You do it yourself.
Well, I even prefer our cult of 3 ladies in black. Yes, I prefer this cult.
Yes, where we just get together, we talk about fun stuff and not so fun stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how you can spend your afternoon. You can spend your afternoon, your morning with us whenever you're driving to work or whatever. Turn on Queens with Accents and learn about terrifying stuff.
Join our cult. Everyone with accent, without an accent, just join us and give us your money.
Give us your money.
We
don't need anything else. Give us your money and join us. Without money, we can do it without money, but better if you give us money.
We will create something joyful. We will create something joyful and to, something interesting and light and not
absolutely.
Maybe something dark too, but yeah.
Pink Wednesdays, or we're gonna on Wednesdays we wear pink, stuff like that. And again,
but that one was also fat shaming, though.
That Mean Girl, you mean?
Yes, that was also like body shaming and everything.
There was like a lot of but that was a little cult right there in that little school. 3 people actually. You always can start something. Start from 3 and go up. Again, we didn't even scratch the surface. We just just talked just about most popular ones, but we can always go back to such up. You can wear pink or gray or green or whatever. Take your money and go with that.
The family. We didn't even talk about the family.
Charlie Manson. Oh my God. Yeah, that's the most popular. And maybe we can take just one cult and just talk about it. Deep diving into it.
Yeah, let's do this. I actually think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, girls, as always, it was super nice to talk to you, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you like cults, and right downstairs, write in comments what's cults you heard about, and if you want to hear more about the subject.
Or about the cults, right?
Or about the cults, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for staying with us. Thank you.